The Texas Roadhouse restaurant chain is a bona fide international success. However, some people might not be too familiar with the chain. So here to shed a little more light on the franchise are 10 truths you didn't know about Texas Roadhouse. Authentic food.
Very authentic.
When they say don't mess with Texas, they might as well be talking about the food. Like many things in the Lone Star State, food is taken seriously and has to meet certain standards in order to make the claim of being truly authentic Texas cuisine. Many people argue about what exactly the parameters are, but many agree that the Texas Roadhouse chain has passed the authenticity test with flying colors. You cannot have authentic Texas food without good quality Texas beef, and the restaurants each have a butcher on staff to make sure only the best cuts of beef are served. The chain offers a selection of hand-cut steaks including the Fort Worth ribeye, Dallas filet, and the USDA choice sirloin. If you're not in the mood for steak, you can order things like the pulled pork dinner, country fried chicken, or a Texas Roadhouse fave, the all-American cheeseburger. Delish! It's hard to beat the fresh-cut steaks the popular chain is so proud of, but Texas Roadhouse is also proud of the fact that it makes most of its other menu items from authentic recipes using only the freshest ingredients.
They're so fresh! They're so fresh!
This includes everything from main dishes and sides to smaller items like the famous rolls and even salad dressing. Texas Roadhouse seems to take its commitment to authenticity very seriously, and this means better quality food for customers. Not a Texas original.
Y'all saying Texas ain't real?
The food that Texas Roadhouse serves might be authentic Texas fare, but it turns out the authenticity of the restaurant itself is in question. Say it isn't so. Well, sorry to say, but it is so. People might have assumed that the chain started in Texas, but this is actually a false assumption. The famous chain, which was founded by a man named Kent Taylor, actually opened its very first location in Clarksville, Indiana in 1993. Shocking, we know. Texas Roadhouse may have started as a modest diner, but has since grown into an international success story of Texas-sized proportions. The corporate headquarters isn't in Texas either. The HQ for the Texas Roadhouse chain actually happens to be in Louisville, Kentucky.
Kentucky, yeah.
However, there are 56 Texas locations today, making this state the chain's biggest market. Texans know that bigger is better, so they'll be happy to learn that the largest location is indeed in Texas. The details of where this famous chain got its start is relatively minor in the grand scheme of things. However, it is in the chain's best interest to let people assume that it all began in Texas, because it adds to the restaurant's authenticity. A bit of Texas almost everywhere.
Sir, Texas, sir! Holy dog!
The Texas Roadhouse restaurant chain has more than 600 locations in the United States and around the world. You would think that because of this successful expansion, the company would have at least one location in every state in the U.S., but that's simply not the case. There are more than 50 locations in the great state of Texas alone, so you're good to go if you live there and get a craving for one of the chain's delicious meals.
Yummy!
There is one unlucky state that has not been graced with the successful chain's presence, at least not yet. Texas Roadhouse doesn't like to publicize which state has been left out in the cold. Many people assume it is either Hawaii or Alaska because these states have small markets and present logistic problems for companies that other states don't. However, there is something to be said for keeping this mystery alive so it can continue to be a topic of conversation. The truth is that the people who don't have a Texas Roadhouse in their state know who they are. Hopefully, they live close enough to a Texas Roadhouse located in a nearby state so they can still go to one when they get the urge. With all of its success both in America and overseas, it seems like this successful restaurant chain could open one more location in the state in question. If you know which state is missing a Texas Roadhouse, let us know in the comments. Margaritas, anyone?
Me! Me!
In the wise words of Jimmy Buffett, if life gives you limes, make margaritas. When you think of refreshing margaritas, you most likely think of your favorite local Mexican restaurant where they have bottomless tortilla chips, salsa, and all your faves. Texas likes big things, so it makes sense that this particular restaurant chain would have the largest margarita menu in the entire US of A. The Texas Roadhouse menu boasts 15 different festive margaritas to choose from, including the Legend Margarita that has not one, but 3 kinds of tequila for an extra special experience. You can also try the Sangria Margarita, Hurricane Margarita, as well as the classic original frozen margarita that is sure to tantalize those taste buds. It seems like any one of these would go just fine with a spicy appetizer or any of the flavorful main dishes, so make sure to enjoy. Texas Roadhouse is known for its big portions, and the same is true when it comes to its generous drinks. Customers rave about the chain's margaritas for their sheer size as well as their fresh, quality ingredients. Margarita, anyone? Exclusive lunch.
Lunchtime!
Competition for customers is fierce among restaurants, so lunch specials are not uncommon. Texas Roadhouse, however, has taken this practice to another level, and for good reason. Being part of something, especially something exclusive, excites people. Well, Texas Roadhouse restaurants are only open for lunch 2 days a week. This sense of exclusivity seems to have worked with the public because people flock to these limited lunch opportunities on Saturday and Sunday at noon for exclusive meals that you can only get at the successful restaurant chain. Texas Roadhouse has explained that the limited lunch schedule was implemented to help employees maintain a decent balance between their work and home lives. 2 thumbs up for caring about the staff. This is a welcome attitude in an industry that is notoriously hard on employees, such as the waitstaff.
I hate this job.
It's probably also a good selling point when people apply for a job with the chain. Texas Roadhouse serves big portions of quality food, so it's no wonder people would go out of their way to experience the exclusive menu that they can only get 2 days a week. There's no set lunch menu that applies to all of the Texas Roadhouse locations, but you will be able to choose from the chain's extensive menu. Some locations may do things a little differently from others, so check with the locations near you to see what they offer for their exclusive lunches. Butchers.
Meat.
People truly appreciate when companies go the extra mile for them. Effort can go a long way. Most chain restaurants have to rely on a number of frozen and packaged foods to create the range of recipes that they offer. Popular chains like Texas Roadhouse serve so many customers that it's hard to keep up using only fresh ingredients, which require a lot more preparation time than pre-packaged and processed foods. Texas Roadhouse, however, has tried to resist the trend in the industry, and as part of this commitment, it has a butcher on site working at each restaurant location. As it turns out, the best way to get the freshest cuts of meat is to have your own butcher on staff to prepare them for customers right on the premises.
It was the meat of the moment. Meat.
The fresh meat is carefully stored in refrigerators at 34 degrees Fahrenheit, so the meats are as fresh as possible when the butcher needs them. Because each location employs their own butcher, the restaurant can cater to local tastes when it comes to what cuts to offer customers. Instead of one-size-fits-all frozen steaks, they have the flexibility to offer a range of fresh choices to satisfy different tastes. Purely genius. Free food.
Did someone say something about a free hot meal?
Is there anyone out there who doesn't like free food? No? No one? That's what we thought. Many restaurants know this too, but Texas Roadhouse actually takes advantage of the fact that everyone loves a good freebie and acts on it. Every customer who sits down in this popular chain is served all-you-can-eat peanuts, aka an elephant's dream. This is a thoughtful touch that hungry customers appreciate as they look over their menu choices. Think about it. You're hungry and you don't want to ruin your appetite while you scan the menu in order to make your meal selection. Peanuts are a good choice choice because they are a healthy snack that people can feel good about as they contemplate heavier foods like steaks and burgers. The all-you-can-eat peanuts may seem like an unimportant detail to some, but it's the little details like this that can help separate a successful restaurant from an unsuccessful one. If customers encounter delays after they are seated at their table, they can expect to be treated to a free basket of warm bread that tastes and feels heaven sent.
Can we have some bread and no other food at all?
Wow. Fresh, warm bread is a treat most people enjoy, so this is a nice touch that doesn't cost Texas Roadhouse very much. The free food that the chain gives its customers can be seen as part of the cost of doing business, but also as a sign that the company values its customers a little more than other places do. Bakers.
Je veux trouver un croissant, Justine enchanté.
Texas Roadhouse has butchers and bakers on staff, but apparently has no need for candlestick makers. The chain's famous attention to detail and quality demands that they take that extra step to provide fresh food when other restaurants do not. People like to get free rolls at restaurants, but most people don't think about where the rolls came from. Were they simply heated up before serving, or were they made from scratch in the kitchen using fresh ingredients? Well, customers at Texas Roadhouse locations don't have to wonder because they know that they were made right in the restaurant by the staff baker. Fresh rolls might seem like a minor thing for a restaurant to offer, but restaurants are locked in a fierce competition for your business, and any advantage is a welcome one. Even if you go to the Texas Roadhouse for the great steaks and not the fresh rolls, it is nice to know that they make warm rolls from scratch by an actual baker. And these pillows of fluffy goodness will be waiting for you upon arrival, whipped cinnamon butter and all. They train for this. From cooks to waiters, all restaurant workers receive some kind of training, but the depth and quality of this training can vary wildly. The differences in training, or lack of training, can sometimes be seen in the quality of the food and service at inexpensive as well as expensive restaurants.
I didn't need to be hired. I simply came in, picked up a tray, and started working for the man.
According to Texas Roadhouse, the staff at all of its locations go through a training program that is more detailed and rigorous than most others in the industry. The restaurant chain is proud of the fact that it teaches the waitstaff to upsell the menu, but it doesn't stop with simple suggestions. The employees are carefully trained to use psychological techniques to aid in their efforts to connect with their customers. So they're all like mini Freuds? All of this training is meant to accomplish two things. First, to get customers to order more food, and second, to improve the overall experience of the customers so that they leave happy and want to visit a Texas Roadhouse again. You can't fault the popular chain for going the extra mile with its training program because the restaurant business is so competitive that literally every order is significant. It is probably hard to quantify just how successful this extra training is, but the people at Texas Roadhouse definitely continue to do it, meaning they must believe that it works for them and is worth the extra time and effort it takes to train the staff. Roadkill.
People eat roadkill.
While roadkill may not sound like the most appetizing dish to enjoy, it is listed as an item on the Texas Roadhouse menu. Have no fear, though, it is not actually roadkill in the literal sense of the term, but it's more like a chopped steak covered in sautéed onions and mushrooms, as well as jack cheese.
I love American cheese.
The description sounds better than its name, don't you think? We thought so too. The roadkill dish at Texas Roadhouse definitely gets some eye bulges, but we're thinking that perhaps the restaurant just wanted to have a little bit of fun with some wordplay. If you can get over the icky factor of eating something called roadkill, then you should know that this meal comes highly recommended by other patrons. We never thought we'd be saying this, but fancy some roadkill? Don't mind if we do. Bite into more great videos. Just tap or click. First time here? Then leave us a comment, hit that subscribe button, and ring that notification bell.